On this episode of Geek Dad Life, we're going to do a live unboxing of Wave 6 of MOTU Origins, and we'll open up this Battlefield Warrior set as well. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Geek Dad Life. It's your host, Jay Glatfelter here. And yes, this is a first of its kind for this channel, doing a live unboxing similar to how I would normally do a non-live unboxing or review. I've basically set it up with my, my nice Sony A6 6400 camera to, do it like it would be if you were just watching a normal review. So this is something I've kind of wanted to do for a while. And, for people that hang out on this channel, you have all, requested doing more unboxings on this channel, and this would be a really fun way to do it, to make sure that you all get to be a part of it as well. So if you like this approach, if you like hanging out and opening up toys together, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see when these episodes drop, make sure to click the subscribe button and that bell icon. The chat has been hopping as always. Cobweb, I love this wave. Sure you will too, Jay. Thank you for that. Dartherian, have a fun, Jay. I'll probably be out celebrating my friends who and I who have served. Hoping Stinkor stinks. So, Dartherian, first of all, thank you for your service. And, for any of the viewers in the U.S., today is a holiday. It's Veterans Day. So I just definitely want to send out thanks for your service to this country on this special holiday. Michael Gervais is here as well. Excited to be able to be a part of the live stream. Excited to have you here, Michael. Todd Smith is here. Evil Villain, John Rhodes, John Hibbard, Jonathan Morello, Dartherian. Oh, he's back. That Horn, Monkey Boy, Cloth Cats. David V is here, as well as Gamer Bud. Michael Palmer is here as well. All Music Fan in the house. Yes, another MOTU evening indeed. Let's see here. Beast Mode is here. Alex. Colleen, my wife, is here. Hello, Colleen. James is here. Shannon. My boy Shannon is here today. Actually going to be excited in a second, Shannon. Throwback Girl, Justin, Coyote. Yeah, so fun, exciting to have everybody here with me. And yeah, so I'm going to switch to my webcam on this laptop so you can see me as well. Hello, there I am. Shannon, I put your Grayskull spacesuit is my co-pilot on today's live stream. So if anybody... And I'm in my game room. This is where I actually shoot any of the reviews against this wall right here. It's really high tech, really high tech, high fashion. So if you follow my Instagram, and if you haven't yet, oh, it's not going to let me open it. Darn it. Never mind. Well, if you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw that I found Wave 6, or at least the last figure that I needed from Wave 6 on MOTU Origins at my Target. Apparently, they hit Targets everywhere the past couple of days. This is buddy Gary, friend of the channel, found like 3 boxes or 3 full sets at his Walmart. So, at least if you're in North Carolina, you may have gotten your chance to get Wave 6, and hopefully that means more and more are starting to show up. And, because I think this is a really good wave, and I'm excited to finally crack this thing open, because I found Green Goddess, Stinkor, and Beastman, God, it feels like a month ago, but all the web stores were gone. So I don't know if that's going to be the hot figure from this wave. That's going to be the scare glow of this wave. But so I didn't have it. So I was like, well, I don't want to review it. So I'll have that one. And boom, found Webstor yesterday. So I was really pumped for that. Also found a bunch of the new He-Man, the Masters of the Universe figures. So I'm going to be opening those up tomorrow. All right, let's just jump into it. Let's not waste any more time. And, I'm curious in the chat, which one do we want to open first? It seems like everyone wants to know how Stinkor smells. And so I do think it's important that maybe we start with Stinkor, right? I have my vintage Stinkor with me to do a smell comparison test. Now, I have heard people say it stinks, it doesn't stink, or the stink doesn't last, or it doesn't smell the same as the vintage Stinkor. So you will get kind of my first reaction here on this stream to see how the new one compares to the vintage one. So let's start with Stinkor. Let's pull them up here. All right. So again, if you've gotten a MOTU Origins figure, you know what to expect here. You have the new for 21. You have the Blasting Rocks. And this one will have a Wave 6 comic, which I'm excited about. On the back, again, you have, let's see if I can lift it up a little bit. You have that fantastic artwork that just looks really great. And Moss Man's on there, the other smelling figure, but we do not have that one officially yet, or officially kind of announced yet. I love this picture of the stink action feature on the back of this card. That's really awesome. You have cross-sell for the vintage style He-Man and Skeletor there. And then we have the 4 figures of Wave 6. So I haven't found those vintage head figures yet, even though I know they're starting to hit right now. Has anybody else in the chat found those yet? I really do. Whenever I do find them, I will definitely be excited for that. All right. Now, again, something unique about Stinkor is he's the only one that's actually sealed all the way in. Some of the other ones, there's a bit more of a gap. There's actually a gap in the back of the card back. So Stinkor, they're trying to trap the stink in the card. So we'll see how effective that is for this one. All right, got the old blade ready. Here we go. Let's crack this open, and you'll get my first reactions. I'll move to the other cam so you can see my face as I smell this figure for the first time. Okay, there we go. There we go. There's the figure. All right. Oh, there's just an extra. Oh, there's tape on the accessory too. That's a pain in the butt. All right. Let's switch cameras real quick, and let's see the first smell test of the Stinkor. Just popping them out. All right, here we go. Let's see. Here we go. Huh. It kind of smells, but it doesn't like. It doesn't have that patchouli smell that the OG one has, and still has. Like this figure still has the smell. This new one kind of just smells like a kind of a stinky pool tube, or something like that kind of plasticky smell, and it's barely there. So it's not anywhere near to the original one. It's just kind of stinky, but it almost is just like a very plasticky type smell with a slight kind of odor to it, but not bad at all. So in terms of if you really wanted your Stinkor to be stinky, this is the vintage one. This is the new one. It's not going to do that so much. But again, looking at them side by side, vintage to the new one, it's actually kind of interesting that the original orange is a little bit brighter than the new MOTU Origins armor. And that's a little bit shocking because usually the Origins are a little bit brighter than the vintage one, which I find interesting. It's the same articulation, though. And the actual armor itself is a bit more gummy, is a bit more rubbery. So that is, I guess, typical of the line so far, compared to the vintage one, which is very plasticky. But I think this one will last better over time. And let's look at the accessories next on that one. So here's the vintage, which was just a recasted Castle Grayskull shield. Here's the new one. You can already tell it's a lot bigger. Yeah. They make this thing so freaking hard. There we go. All right. So definitely bigger. And it looks more unique too, which is kind of cool. But I wonder if we'll get, since we didn't get this shield with Castle Grayskull, if we will get this just recasted in the Grayskull colors. I'm curious to see if that's the case, and how they would give that to us. Maybe another kind of Grayskull accessory pack if they do a normal retail release. But still, overall, the figure looks pretty good. I mean, it just, again, for me, these Origins figures, like, and it's something I'm going to be doing soon, is, swapping out my vintage ones for the Origins ones, because these are going to stand up better over time, and I can give these rubber band legs a rest. But still, he looks pretty good. Boom. For the comic, I think I accidentally sliced it with my box cutter there. But rock in a hard place. And we have a lot of fakers there. Ooh. Webstor, Stinkor, Green Goddess. Boom. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, look at that. We have basically the same, well, similar scene to the original mini comic, which is pretty cool. So that's awesome. All right. So speaking of the Green Goddess, why don't we do her next? I think that's a good one to go to next. Make sure I move all this stuff out of the way. Oh, and I didn't say that, yes, this one does have its own, how you can swap out the parts of the figure. Okay, Green Goddess is next. I'm really excited about this one because I freaking love Green Goddess. It's one of my favorites. Phineas, the shield doesn't fit in the castle's weapon rack. Oh, that's a miss. That's a bummer. Let's see. Justin, did Stinkor ever have a comic version that is different than the toy? I don't think so. I don't think so. Save for I mean, maybe just some variances, but nothing severe like the early mini comics had. Phineas said his Stinkor's head was super wobbly. Let's check mine. Nope, it's pretty good. It's not a bobblehead, which I have had sometimes. Real Toy Guru, I ordered my set at BBTS. Too bad I only work for a set. Going to be a pain to get extra web stores, but I'm getting them. Yeah, interesting. Like I kind of I have a feeling Wave 6 is going to be a lot like Wave 2. From what I've heard, what I've seen, and hopefully not that bad, but we'll see. Monkey, how can they screw up the smell? How hard can it be? I know, like, again, maybe the production process is different now. I don't know. Or maybe they just didn't want to make it that stinky. If you've seen their panels and stuff like that, they kind of talked about how they didn't like the stinky smell. So I don't know. We'll see. And Oliver backing up as well. I saw some chat from other collectors that the stink smell wasn't as pungent as the vintage one. Yep. Yeah, agree. It just smells like plastic, which I agree with Alex, is a bit of a bummer. Still, though, I mean, it's not the end of the world. It doesn't ruin the figure, but still, it would have been nice to have. Makes me worried for whenever we get to, what's his name? Moss Man. There you go. And one, is it going to be flocked, and two, is it going to have that pine fresh smell? But anyways, all right, Green Goddess. We got this figure in MOTU Classics. We've never had a vintage style one before. And as you would expect, it definitely follows the Tila mold, even uses the same head sculpt, which to me is a little unfortunate just through the packaging, because you can see her hair. And in the mini comics, and even in the classics version, they had kind of her little, I don't know, little cap or whatever that covered her hair when she was wearing the snake headdress. That's not going to be here. That's my only nitpick. That, and it's not translucent, but we'll see how it is once I take it out of this box. Again, using this box cutter live in front of all of you, a little more stressful than when I'm just doing it leisurely at my own pace. They got the mini comic as well. This mini comic seems like an action-packed mini comic. Some of them are kind of like, meh, I'll toss it, but this one looks pretty good so far for Wave 6. Pretty much a very similar arrangement to what we got with Tila. Same accessories. Which, again, I like the classics one gave a different staff, which is not the case here. It's just using Tila's weapons. Again, not the end of the world, but would have liked to have seen something like that. All right. So here we go. Oh, focus. There we go. And, I really dig this figure. The green, even though it's not translucent, does really pop. I'm kind of bummed I don't have the black light set up. I'm curious to see how this thing looks in a black light. But I think it looks freaking awesome. Again, being a fan, I think for me, my headcanon for Masters of the Universe is the early mini comics. So really excited to get this figure. And aside from the head Still, it feels a little too Tila for me. It would be like something a little bit different here on the head sculpt. But overall, especially from afar, I don't notice the head sculpt as much. And I really dig the figure. Here's to see what's and oh yes, it has. This is my first figure with the new knees. Thanks for calling that out, All Music Fan. Yeah, this is my first one with the new knees, and I guess it does look better. But again, I didn't mind the knees so much. It wasn't that big of a deal to me, but it does. I will say it does look better. It looks a little less, I don't know, unnatural, if you will. Again, let's open up the accessories here. Again, they make it so dang difficult to get these things out. But one slice and I'm in. Again, that's a bummer that the Webstor, the new Webstor, not Webstor, I'm sorry, Stinkor shield doesn't work with Castle Grayskull. That is a bummer. So here she is with her staff. There's no vintage one to compare it to. I mean, I guess you could compare it to vintage Tila, but we've done that already, so I'm not going to be redundant. But still, looks pretty good. Really dig this figure. Black Phoenix says hasn't seen it anywhere. Hopefully it shows up soon. Again, I feel like there's this kind of last hurrah here for Wave 6 hitting targets right now. At least a lot in the targets in my area in Raleigh, North Carolina. So hopefully more will be on the way. Phineas Bog, once you go skin flaps, you never go back. Oh, I love that. The real toy guru loving the new knees. Not a big deal on the older versions, but glad Mattel is listening and making these changes. Exactly. It didn't ruin the figure for me, but I understand the complaints and the fact that they've listened to the fans and have worked on improving them. I think is a really good thing. So pumped for this figure. I'm going to save Webstor for last just because he was the hardest one to find. And then I'll go to the one that I was probably the least excited about in this wave, and that is the Lords of Power Beastman. And it's kind of two reasons. One, I mean, I get it. I get the history behind this colorway, this look, and why they did it. But I already dropped, I don't know, was it 200 something bucks on the set that included this version of the Lords of Power Beastman. So having another slot for a figure I already have is a bummer for me since I bought the Lords of Power set. But I totally understand for those that didn't get this set and didn't want to drop that kind of money on it, because again, I agree it was kind of stupidly expensive. I'm excited for those people. But for me, I'm like, I guess I prefer this one. I don't know. I've seen some people combo this armor with this Beastman, which might be pretty cool. Maybe I'll do that. But still, let's crack this thing open. Oh, I didn't look at the artwork on the Green Goddess. I apologize. That's already on the floor. But let's look at the artwork here for the Beastman. Looking good. Fighting the vintage head style He-Man. He comes in. He does action poses. But if you notice, he only has one action square because the Lords of Power Beastman doesn't have any weapons. It ticks me off. How could you just give him a whip? Give him something. It's already there. I guess it's more accurate that way, but still, come on. And I guess it's less jarring here just because, you know, this is a normal release, I guess. But when it was, you know, that it was 250 bucks for the Lords of Power, PowerCon exclusive last year, that felt rough. Because I was like, you can't just throw in one extra accessory. But, you know, I don't want to sound too complaining. All right, let's see. Just again, I like that they've just gone to one rubber band strap on the back instead of the two, because really, I don't know. There's nothing worse like a bunch of clasps preventing you from getting your figure. It looks pretty good. Has far less paint apps than the Lords of Power one. Actually, looks like I got a little mark here on his front tooth, which I'm not that bent out of shape over because I'm not going to be displaying this one. And you're asking yourself, why did you buy this, Jay? I don't know. I don't know why I buy the things I do. Do we all have that problem sometimes where it's like, I don't want it, but somehow, some way I've become a completist on MOTU Origins. So it's like, well, I've gotten everyone already. I guess I'll get this one too. And that's kind of how I feel about this Beast Man a little bit. All right, this is a bit of elaborate armor. I'm gonna do this in real time, live in front of you all. So hopefully I do this well. I don't know. Maybe I'll just, piece out of doing it. Ugh, I don't want to do this. It's too much. There we go. Like it seriously feels like they didn't package it with the armor to make it seem like you're getting an accessory. Listen, he has no weapons, but you get this really cool chest armor that doesn't really protect the chest. All right, there you go. There he is with his armor. It's yellow versus the red. And I don't know. What do you think in the chat? Which one's cooler, this one or this one? I still think this one, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Black Phoenix. Can't believe they didn't trademark. Mattel didn't trademark Lords of Power. It is interesting. That is fascinating for sure. I'm surprised they didn't as well. Justin says he likes this guy. So there you go. I like the red armor myself. I kind of feel the same way. With that one. Real Toy Guru, I talk about displaying. I might put them in another display where it's all mini comic MOTU. That's a good idea. Like having a mini comic display is like a pretty clever idea. I don't think I have space to pull that off, but if you do, I think it's a really neat idea. And Black Phoenix, the first one you got looks better. I agree. I think that one's for me. Justin, and talking about how the Formo Toys is doing Lords of Power line, it'll confuse the people. Yeah, I guess so. But again, I think for casual He-Man fans that probably won't be buying that line, I assume it's just LOP on the box. So let me pull it up here again. So it just says LOP. There's not really anything else that says Lords of Power. It's just that sticker. So, maybe that's how they're getting around it, by just having the sticker say LOP as opposed to Lords of Power. And if you know what it means, awesome. And if you don't, you're probably like, cool, LOP. I love the LOP figures. But yeah, I don't necessarily, I still prefer the regular Beast Man to any of these, but I think I would still go this one. But that's just me, in my opinion. Okay. Last, but definitely not least, Webstor, one of my favorite vintage figures. I have my vintage one right here. And let me make sure I have his action feature ready to go. So one thing, I believe the new one has an easy way to kind of wrap the string, which the vintage one does not. But still, I do it. Let's see. The action of like pulling on one side and it going on the other is still one of the coolest action features of any toy ever. And apparently this new one does what the vintage one did. So while Stinkor was a disappointment, maybe Webstor will redeem the vintage style things. Oh, here goes Sanders. You down with LOP? Yeah, you know me. LOP sounds like a Korean boy band. Maybe. And yeah, we'll see. Let's see. I got the LOP Merman. Haven't opened him yet, though. Again, I opened them because of this channel, but if I didn't, probably not. Oh, here we go. The Real Toy Group. Careful, Webstor. The string might not be tied too well. I saw in a chat earlier that I guess Webstor is having some quality control issues. So we'll see. Toy Group Space Cowboy here. The vivid colors on this Webstor. Just look at him in the box. This thing, talk about lop. This thing is pop in. Like, oh my gosh. It just looks so good. The eyes. Like, this thing's really popping. compared to the vintage one, which is a little bit more subdued, which has been the line so far. But I don't know why. Just this blue, this like very royal blue, looks freaking awesome. So I've been dying to open this one up. Out of all the ones in this wave, this is the one I was anticipating the most. One, because apparently they brought that cool action feature over to this figure. And two, I just think he looks awesome. And for the action feature, I guess my boys would get a kick out of it. For me, like, it's probably gonna do it this one time on this stream, and then after that, all gone. So one last rock in a hard place comic. We also got our little insert showing us the removable parts on this Webstor. And like there's like this shading to the eyes. Let me see if I like he looks animated. It just looks fantastic. Like again, the color contrast, the paint applications on the armor. It's really simple. It's not much, but what's there, they nailed. They got it just right. All right, let's pop this bad boy open. Again, I will try to be careful with the pack. Apparently the string isn't on there so well. So here we go. Okay. So right off the bat, the string is a lot shorter. I can't really get it on screen here, but that's a lot shorter than the vintage one. And again, the vintage one, you could probably go across the room with it. Now it's all tangled up because, of course. So, I like the thicker string on the new one because it probably less likely to get tangled, but like the string is so much longer on the vintage one. But let's not worry about that yet. Oh my God. See, this is what happens when you let the string fly on the Webstor. There we go. Okay. Okay. Wow. Look at how this Webstor just pops. It looks so good. Little loose on the head, but not bad. Not a bobblehead, but a little loose. The rest of the articulation is pretty tight. Wow, this is one of my favorite Origins figures so far. It looks so good. And I hope it's coming across like on the stream. But this thing is fantastic. See if I can get it to focus. Come on, focus. Focus. And there we go. Oh, man, it looks so good. Wow. All right. The pack is bigger. Like the actual, it is significantly bigger. And the people have said that be careful with the string. Apparently it's loose or it can break. My guess is maybe on this side, maybe this isn't tied so well. So if you pull it too hard, it might just pop off. You have to retie it. Maybe that's why. I don't know. I haven't watched any videos about this yet. I try to keep make my take fresh, if you will. All right. And then I'll go watch everybody else's videos after. Okay. So let's see. Does it do it? Pull. It does not work as well. It kind of gets caught. It might be because the string's too thick. And then kind of guide it along. But it does not work as well. It gets stuck right there. So I hear what people are saying. I think the string might be too thick. And it might be getting stuck in whatever that mechanism is. Because comparing the strings on vintage to new, like it is nearly like double the thickness. This is the new one. This is the original one. So that's my guess. That'll be my guess on why it's not as functional. So I appreciate they've done it, right? Because it could have just, like Classics did, just throw it in there and it doesn't actually work. And yeah, but it is a bit of a bummer that this one, it kind of works. And again, maybe you just need to loosen it up a little bit or get it comfortable with But yeah, it kind of gets stuck halfway on mine. But it is working kind of that middle zone there. All right, and let's look at his weapon, which again is another Castle Grayskull weapon, which I don't think the one version we got in the Origins Castle Gray. God, why do they need to tape it? Why? Are people stealing accessories? Why did you make this so difficult? So this is more styled after the vintage one for sure. And here we go. Here's the original vintage one. So the original is a bit brighter on the orange front, a tad smaller, just a little bit smaller. So you'll still be able to tell them apart if like I don't know why somebody would. Webstor's vintage ones I don't think are that expensive. Maybe they got expensive. I don't know. But it's close to the vintage one, but there is a pretty good enough difference there on the new one. Let's see how wrapping this string up goes. Does it go like that, I'm guessing? I guess like that. That works. Honestly, again, that's better than it's better than the vintage one, which I'll have to like spend 30 minutes after the stream putting back together. Boom, there you go. But dang. Wow. Okay. Fave of the wave, I think, has to be Webstor. He looks fantastic. Like, he looks so good. Oh gosh, it looks so good. All right, let's put them all in a line here. And then we'll declare fave of the wave. And what's our not fave? It'll just be lame of the wave. I don't know. I don't know what we'll call it. I saw Eternals today. Has anybody else seen Eternals? We saw it today. I don't know. I didn't love it. I liked it. I really dug the characters. I don't know if I liked the story so much. I don't know. I feel like I need to marinate on it more. Just saw it a couple hours ago. But yeah. So really solid wave. Wave 6. The lame with all the shame. There you go, Michael Miller. Knave of the wave. Okay. All right, Space Cowboy. I like that. So a really solid wave. I mean, I think you've got some great vintage representation with Webstor and Stinkor. You've got one of the kind of cult classic, most favorite non-character character, if you don't count the mini comics, ever in the Green Goddess in this wave, which is awesome. And then, you have what was a convention exclusive figure in here as well. I don't dig this Beastman so much, but if you missed out on the convention, PowerCon exclusive set, you got this one as well for a lot cheaper than I paid for this one. So there's a lot to really dig about this wave. I think it's one of the better waves in MOTU Origins. And yeah, I'm seeing it in the chat that people are feeling Webstor is the fave of the wave. And I feel so as well. Phineas Bog, better than Black Widow. I fell asleep in Black Widow. I'm pretty easy with movies. I like movies. Like I'm not a critic, I go and I appreciate them. And I just like some more than others. So I really dug the characters, but it just, I don't know. It seemed too long and too short all at the same time. Let's see here. It's Real Toy Guru, number 1, Webby, 2, Stinky, 3, Greenie, 4, BC. I think I would do the same as well. I think for sure, fave of the wave was Webstor by a long shot. Stinkor, I think, is really solid as well, but the lack of stink is a problem. And if you missed my initial reactions, Yeah, it did not stink enough, not even close. And Green Guys, I think, does look really good. And Beastman, meh, meh. All right, there you go. That's wave 6. It'll now go into display whenever I make my full conversion. And as a bonus on this unboxing, I'm finally going to open up my Battle Warriors 2-pack. Battlefield Warriors 2-pack. They're finally starting to show up at Target as well. So if you haven't found one yet, hopefully you'll be able to find it soon. Nothing new in terms of figures, but it's the fact that we have this slick, chromed out, vac metal Battle Armor He-Man. For the first time, we're getting a vac metal Battle Armor He-Man. The vintage one wasn't even vac metal. So that's awesome. We're also getting some kind of floor in front of Grayskull pieces. The Battle Cat is more pearlized on the armor. It has some battle scars. I don't know if that's worth it so much. I don't think this set's worth $50. Like, would you pay $50 just for this figure? No. But I think they threw in all this stuff, and I think that makes it pretty cool. The artwork, though, again, is amazing. Like Francisco, Axel Jimenez, what they do on all these retail releases is incredible. And oh my goodness, just take in the back of this card. Wow. Like it looks so good. It looks so good. And you know, like I don't know, what have you all been doing with your boxes? Mine are just kind of stored away. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but the art's so beautiful. I don't want to throw it away. Oh, looks so good. Shows the action feature on the Battle Armor He-Man. Shows you can add the gargoyles to your Castle Grayskull playset, which is cool. You got the Castle Grayskull display stand. Yeah. But even in the picture, it shows no articulated ankles on Battle Cat. Now that would have made it worth the $50. The vac metal and ankle articulation, heck yeah. And you see why I put as far as Wave 6 set, because the Wave 6 figures are on the back of this card as well as Castle Grayskull with the Temple of Darkness. Sorceress. Okay. So there's the box. We have all oogled. We have all appreciated how awesome this is. Let's see. Darkening. I blew $60 for a custom vintage He-Man head. Totally worth it. Yeah, I got a custom head on my Revelation He-Man, and it has changed my appreciation of that figure because the head sculpt is so good. I'm trying. I think is it Hordak X on Instagram. He sells them on Instagram. I believe he's out of Mexico. He was at PowerCon, and he just had a whole bunch of them sitting on a booth, that he had, and it just looks so good. I think I saw Toy Shiz actually got one because he was there as well, and so I saw he had one, and I was like, oh my god, I gotta get one of those, and I did. It looks so good. So, Master Fire, ho ho ho, Green Goddess. I love that. All right, let's pull this thing out here. Stinkor Pixel Dance Sword Enemy. All right, let's pull this out here. Let's do it this way. Why am I pulling it in the back? We want to see this thing. Yeah. Boom, there we go. Let's take out the Battle Cat. Getting a lot of these stupid rubber bands. I hate them. I want to live in a world where I don't have little rubber bands I gotta take off the dang figures. But I know people use those for different things, so there's that. All right, Battle Cat. A little bit darker green, which is nice. Plus, you have the extra, paint apps for the wounds. But still, I'm not a fan of the lack of ankle articulation. It's the only kind of anything from MOTU Origins so far that's been disappointing to me is the Battle Cat. One, because I think the face, because it has to be smaller to do the helmet, is a bummer. And the lack of articulation. The kind of pearlescent paint that they put, or at least maybe the plastic they've used on this one's battle, the armor looks pretty good. So this one you could say is better than the other one, but that's all right. I don't love it. I don't love it. But this is why we're all here, right? This is why we wanted this figure. And it doesn't look like he has any rubber bands. They used all the rubber band budget on the battle cat. He's stuck in there. Holy moly. Oh yeah. Well, they didn't need rubber bands. He's like wedged in there. And then we get, looks like, oh, good Lord. It like flew over there. I'll get it back in a second. But the gargoyle needed a rubber band. Let's get his extra head, his sweeping hair. Come on. There you go. Extra hand. Let's get these out. It's almost it's the kind of same exact plastic they've used on Castle Grayskull. It has those weird white flecks. All right. They're free. But now I got to go back and get a sword that flipped out the back. Because they tightened it up so much. All right. Okay. I'm getting the camera overheating sensor. All right. These just attach together like so. Okay. That's easy enough. Okay, it's cool. You know, it'd be nice to put some foot peg holes or something. That would have been cool. Battle cat there on that. And then, all right, let's look at this battle armor He-Man with the vac metal. That's why we're all here on this set anyway. It looks good. I kind of wish there wasn't the the big old gashes on his arms. I guess you could swap out with the other one, right? So, except maybe the legs. I don't know. Maybe somebody in the chat can tell me. But still, love the pearlescent shield. Love the full power sword. The battle axe. I think it's all awesome. Dig it. So let's give him the shield and let's go. For me and He-Man, I always like him with the battle axe. Again, it's kind of that mini comics edge here. Let's see if the feature works well. Boom. God, this thing looks nice. Looks real nice. The little gargoyles. These are cool. I'll hang them on my Castle Grayskull, which sits. Oh, come on, don't focus on the other thing. Focus on these. Ugh, let me get you out of there. These little guys are cool. So those will go on my Castle Grayskull. Give it a little color, which is nice. All right, boom. There's that. Where's my wave 6? And there you have it, folks. MOTU Origins still kicking it. You know, I know there's rumor that it'll get canceled by a good old toy guru, but it seems to be going strong. We got wave 7 also hitting targets right now. Hopefully we'll be able to find those soon enough. We'll see, I guess. There's some really solid figures in that as well. Boom. Let's back up a little bit. Let's try to get them all in the shot. Almost all of them in the shot. Boom. No, I have the Wind Raider. I guess I should have saved it for this video, but yeah, I have it. It's hooked up to my Castle Grayskull. You want to know how I got these scars? Nice, Bullwinkle. Let's see. Do not feature the hand guard. Am I missing something? Hand guard? Can't wait for Stridor. Oh, come on. See? He's upset that I picked him last out of wave 6. Sorry, bud. You're just retread. New Origins power swords do not feature. Oh no, handguard. I'm sorry. Okay, but I think the handguard is because it's only half a sword. I think they've made the grip smaller. We'll see. We'll see if this thing pops out all the time. But I kind of like it without the handguard personally. But I understand if you really want it. Jeff, why would they cancel this line? They seem exactly. I don't foresee that. I really don't. Michael, I think Webstor is probably because the possible body swapping with Hordak, blue filmation body. Maybe that's a good point. I didn't think about that for sure. All music. How's the main character and strongest character get all of those wounds? That's fair. That's a fair. Well, it's kind of like Superman or any of these people kind of getting all cut up. Wait, where's the power sword? Power sword's right here. Power sword's right here. Don't worry. Dark Omen. I ended up buying a custom power sword from Hebro. Does his still have the handguard? I'm guessing. Power Turtle Buster's got the party wagon and a sorceress for my haul this week. Nicely done, PTB. I have all the retro turtles, the wagon, and the 4 turtles to do and open up as well. That will not be a live stream though, because I want to kind of compare them to the vintage figures, which I want to do some different shots there with that. The toys are the toys of a time gone by. We still need more figures in place. Let's hope they don't cancel. I agree. Hebro is cool. Agreed on that one. Is there a slot on the back for the power sword? Good question. I don't think so. Oh, snap. There you go. How did I miss that? Thank you for calling that out. See, it sounds when you do it live, you're kind of like trying to pay attention to a bunch of different things. But yeah, that is awesome. Okay, this one figure was definitely worth the $50. Now thank you, Space Cabo, you have made this investment seem worthwhile. Dartharian grabbed the normal sorceress. That's awesome. And let's see. Darkening says, nah, Hebro's sword resembles a scaled down classics power sword, but with no handguard. His arc. Oh, nice. Very nice. Power PTB. I get to see the MOTU playset. They, again, at Targets in kind of that extended area where they put all the big kind of Christmas gifts, that are like $100 or whatever. They had a whole bunch of them over there. Damien says they can't cancel line until they give us a classic Whiplash, Count Marzo. I think they will. Again, I don't see that. I don't see it happening. I really don't see it happening. Especially just seeing how much they're putting into it now that they're showing up on Mattel Creations. I just don't see the line getting canceled, but I could be wrong. Gamer, but I don't think they're canceling them. I think they're discontinuing them until they fix some of the faults in the figures that I saw that were discontinued. Just my thought. Maybe. I mean, they discontinue waves, right? They stop selling like wave 2s, but like eventually they just stop producing them. You're 100% right, but the whole line itself, we'll see. PTB, if it's under $50, I'll buy it. I don't know. I think Target's doing them for $75, so I don't think so. Unless you get PTB one of those, Target spin $50, get $10 back or something like that. Michael, is there a rumor it's going to cancel? I believe it was on Scott Knightlick's channel, Spectre Creative. He mentioned something. I haven't watched that video, so I don't know for sure, but kind of talking about that, which kind of started the rumor that kind of snowballed, I believe. Todd Smith, do you see the Snake Mountain coming out in the spring? I do not. I think they'll do maybe a smaller set first, or if you we did, John and I kind of recapped PowerCon with John and I and Toy Geeks, and at the Mattel panel, which I believe you can watch as well, I think that was posted on YouTube, they said that they're looking at play sets through all Masters of the Universe toy lines. So my guess is we'll get the next play set will come in the Masterverse line, or maybe the He-Man, the Masters of the Universe line, and that's where I think that's going to be coming in. And yeah, so that's how that will work. John Smith, I don't even think he was saying it necessarily was confirmed as canceled. He just mentioned that since he's seeing them in Mattel overstock stores for reductions, that typically is a sign they are going to be ditched. So there you go. So hopefully that's not the case. We'll see. And just, yeah, they said it, PowerCon Origins is not going anywhere. Maybe it moves to Mattel Creations only. I hope that's not the case because it's kind of fun to find these in retail, but we'll see. Oliver says, Geek Dad, you plan to get the Horde Fright Zone if Mattel releases it? Absolutely. 100%. I've somehow been a completist on this line. I didn't intend to be, but I've gotten everything so far. Why stop now? Why stop now? That's how I feel about that. And yeah, so we'll go from there. All right, switching cameras real quick. I think that's it. That's it for this first kind of live unboxing, kind of having the full setup. So let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts. Did you dig this? Was this a fun experience? What would you do differently? Let me know. If you like this video, again, hit that like button. And again, I plan to do another live stream tomorrow to open up those He-Man the Masters of the Universe figures that I picked up. I got the kind of the bigger scaled ones, those like 1297 ones. I did the Battle Armor He-Man, the bigger one, and I got kind of the normal Man-at-Arms, Skeletor, and He-Man. And I also got the Powers of Grayskull He-Man from He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. So I'm going to do the same thing like we did tonight tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. Hit the subscribe button and that bell icon to be notified with that. And I'm going to go head over to Yes Have Some. They're doing a live stream. Their normal live stream got pushed to today. So I'm going to go jump over there and enjoy some toy anxiety. I suggest you all do the same as well. And yeah, thank you to everybody in the chat. Throwback Girl says, Target still has 20% one toy coupon. There you go. There you go, PTB, if you find that Castle Grayskull at Target. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. And until next time, hold on, let me play some music. Hold on, there we go. We will see you tomorrow, and that's when we'll see you. And then we'll have a special Toy Geeks on Sunday. Normal content, but with special guest Sjogren, which will be a lot of fun. And more things on the horizon too. Planning another special Toy Geeks with Dan Larson. So just be on the lookout for that. A lot of fun stuff. We'll see you all next time. Hasta luego, and goodbye.